So we are live. Welcome to another episode of the Greatness Engineering Hour show, the show that is brought to you by the Mirai Telekima Global Leadership Organization, an organization that promote greatness and really help, organization and individual to become the best version of themselves. And as part of this show, we really carry this philosophy and we bring to you the best, the champions, people with story of triumph to help you to get tools and strategies and get inspired by what they've been able to do to go to unleash their greatness, but also to engineer greatness wherever they are. Today we're going to Dubai, and we're gonna have a great conversation about using our fee to for freedom. And my guest is an amazing lady, a friend, and she has, her own story. And from her own story, she got from really, from a very challenging beginning to really strength from strength. And she will tell us what it's all about, and we're gonna get to know her. I'm not gonna introduce her. She get the opportunity to introduce yourself, but get your pen, get your paper, and make sure you write down everything. And as I said, not just write down. I hope you're gonna be able to implement some of the insight and things that she's gonna share today. So without further ado, I'm gonna bring our guest today, and let us know where you're watching from, and tune in if you can, ask question, and make it interactive. We're here to help you. We're here to help you to go to the next level of your greatness. So let's start.
Is it all right? Okay, okay. Let's get started right into it. And that is the power of labels, right?
On memories. But as I got older, I started to be more aware of some of the abusive sides of.
So, good afternoon, Fauza. Welcome to the Greatness Engineering Hour show. It's just a pleasure to welcome you, to host you. You are a sister, you are a friend, and I'm really, excited to be able to do this interview and get the have the my audience to know who you are, and especially to know how you build yourself to where you are, because you have an inspiring story, and I want people to understand, how they can really, use your story to get inspired to go to the next level of their greatness. But before we get to this stage, I just want to ask you to introduce yourself and let us know who is Fauza, and what are the key, milestone that in your life. Can you hear me, Fauza?
Yes, I think there was a technical problem. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I think you're on mute now. If you can unmute yourself. Okay, so we've lost Fauza. We've not even started yet. So just want to give you a little bit of a little bit of background about Fauza. She's based in Dubai, and um, she has quite an interesting story. She's a motivational speaker and a mentor as well. And she, a greater passion is to empower people and inspire and motivate young men and women to make a lasting change and life, um, in their life. So we'll get her back, and she, like I said, she's all about motivation. She's also an author, the author of Rising from the Dust, a woman journey to self-discovery, and she just published a new book called transform your to a woman journey to self-discovery and transform fear into freedom. So that's what we're going to talk about today, and hopefully we get her back, because I really want you to understand, her story and where she's coming back. So it's sometimes very difficult to have something coming from Dubai. So I don't know what happened, but Forza was kicked out. Oh, okay. All right. So let's have a video, and we'll come back. And okay, all right, she is back, and okay, so go ahead.
Oh my goodness, I don't know. This technology, something just happened there. Sorry about
Mhm,
that. Yes,
mhm,
so thank you so much, Muriel, for the great introduction. My name is Fauza Beltz, and I am from Kenya, and I've been living in Dubai for the last 10 years now. I'm a mother, that's my first time full job, and I am an author. Just published my second book, which we're going to talk about later. And I also have a platform for women. It's called Woman to Woman, where I bring women together. We share our success stories, our struggles, our fears, and how can we inspire one another, and really just hold each other accountable and move forward. And I also have a foundation. It's called Fauza Foundation, which we aim to empower young girls and boys back in Africa through education. And through the foundation, last year and this year, we've been able to support two girls with school foundation. But also the other need that we have is the sanitation project that we've been doing. And
mhm,
so far, we've been able to support at least 2,000 girls, with the female hygiene products. And so, in a nutshell, that's me. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I'm so excited because I know the work that you're doing. But first, it was not easy for you. So one question that I really have for you is, what are the hurdles that you did face, in the past, and how did you overcome, them? Any strategy that you can share with us, that
Mhm.
the people can learn from you?
I think I always say that there is a book in everyone, Muriel, and there is a story in each one of us. And sometimes, depending with our circumstances and the backgrounds and the families and guardians that they bring us up, it always varies. And I always say that my story is not so different from many other people, even until today, as we are recording.
Mhm,
I grew up in a dysfunctional home, as I would say. My parents were not married. The child was not expected, a one night stand child. And I didn't have the opportunity for them to raise me because they were not together. So I grew up
mhm,
in different homes. And at a certain point in my life, it was difficult, when you go through physical
mhm,
abuse, emotional abuse, mental abuse. And sort of when I got into the teenage time where you're trying to sort of find yourself, find your place in the community where you live in, you ponder, you're like, who am I? What am I here? Why is all this going through? And that was really hard. And surprisingly, even when, as an adult, as a teenager, as a young adult, as a mom later on, I kept on carrying on these wounds, this burden, this anger, resentment and all that, in with me. And so it was really bad because at a certain point, I was trying to reconcile with myself the reasons of my birth that actually caused family division. And I found myself in the agony of battling with really bad anxiety and, mild depression and all that. And I was really lost, I would say. And then luckily, my husband would notice. And then by the grace of God, I got a coach who walked with me through this journey. And I realized, Muriel, that sometimes, the wounds that we carry, the battles that we face in life, if we don't deal with them, they keep on recurring, they keep on going. Something happens. I always say it takes a real life situation to reveal the real you in life. And as I was trying to reconcile, what is my purpose here on earth? I realized that I needed to go deeper and do personal healing, from within, opening those wounds and cleaning them. Because otherwise, it will not be easy for me to move forward. And that's when I started writing, Muriel. I started writing, documenting my thoughts. And for me, that was a therapeutical, it was a healing process, because family rejection is really, it's hard. And I talk about this because it's happening even today as we are doing this. And it's not easy. You sort of lose your own identity. And you ask, you get angry, and you're like, why am I here? But I say now that it is in those moments, when you realize that your identity is actually in alignment with how your birth has been, with how you've been raised, with where you come from, the labels that you've been given, those that you have identified yourself with. I realized that this all doesn't matter. I learned that my identity is in my Creator. That God, the God of love, that who loved me so much, He knew how I was going to be created. He knew where I would be born. He knew how I would be raised. He knew everything. And there was nothing that was going on in my life that was a surprise to Him. Knowing this, I thought, let me share my story. And it has really been encouraging, not only to myself, but to other men and women, young boys and young girls, that yes, this has happened. But what are we doing now with the life that we have? How can you use your testimony? How can you use your story to be of an encouragement to another person?
And that's the important thing. Sometimes we feel like we are alone with all those problems, but we realize that there is a purpose beyond all of this, and we are meant to go through that to be a blessing for somebody else. And when we understand that, it's another dimension. And like you said, my identity belongs to my Creator. He knows what he's doing. And that's why you had to go through it, so that you can be the best person to, teach, inspire, or, help another individual. So let's have a break, and we will be back to continue this already very, very amazing and inspiring conversation. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Some of your fears come out of something someone said about you. Some of your best motivation came wrapped in sandpaper. Some of your best motivation didn't come wrapped in love and came with warm cookies and milk. It came wrapped in sandpaper. It came wrapped in thorns. It came wrapped in that divorce. It came wrapped in the loss of a loved one. It came wrapped in something that didn't work. Some of your best motivation that you needed Some of the best lessons that you need to learn came wrapped in sandpaper. Your job is to take the information, to take the lesson, and to take the opportunity and use it to fuel you, not make you afraid. Hold fear. Don't wait for the fear to leave you. Hold fear in one hand and passion in the other, and leap. Leap. Because only one of three things are going to happen. One, you're going to fly. Two, you're going to fall and hit something soft. Or three, you'll fall and hit something hard and need a Band-Aid. Either way, you've been built to last. Either way, you'll get up and do it again. Either way, you'll play full out. Either way, you'll show up. Either way, we'll get the best version of you. Either way, it's your time right now. You assume you have forever. I'm saying you need now. I'm saying be radical enough. Be outrageous enough. Be unapologetic enough to hold fear in one hand and passion in the other and leap anyway. There's not one thing you can go through, not one thing you can come through, not one thing you can be on your way to that doesn't make you perfect for us. To do that thing that you've been designed to do, to say that thing you've been designed to say, to bring that experience that you've been called to bring. Are you willing to go to the edge and hold fear in one hand and passion in the other and leap?
So we are back. We are back with Fauza, and the video was very powerful, and I chose it on purpose because I know that you went through all of this, and you're the best person to talk about it. So, what are the fears that you had? Going through all of this, and how did you use this fear? Because as we saw in the video, there are different ways to do that. Like she said, you can take it in one hand and have your passion, or you can just say, okay, I'm defeated, and that's it. So tell us a little bit about that.
That was so powerful. It's like I saw myself in that promo video. That was wonderful, powerful. I would say that life happens, Mirelle.
Mm-hmm.
But what can I do now with this all experiences that that I have?
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it's knowing who I am, believing in myself, and trust, and have confidence that yes, this has happened.
Mm-hmm.
But the power in me has not been untouched, because there is power in each one of us. And when we can be able to be intentional and change the narration, the way we see things, the way we handle the giants that we go through every day there is something that happens. But it is not what we go through that determines. It is how we react. Mm-hmm. That is what will matter. Mm-hmm. The lessons that we will get from this is what is going to build us. For me, that is so profound.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest mistake, the biggest thing rather, that people really, really keep on doing every day is self-pity. Self-pity is the worst enemy of human being, of humanity. Every moment you feel sorry about yourself, every moment you keep repeating the same, every time you are creating a web of negativity that is not going to take you anywhere, but keep on just rewinding of the same things. I just want to say, get out of the rut. Get out of the rut. The power is in you. The power is within you. You have been created with that power. It's in you. Use it. It's given freely to each one of us. Because fear, we know, it's false evidence that appears to be real. But that's not who you are. Who do you see when you look in the mirror? That is the person that you are. Not the labels, not the failures you have gone through, not the mistakes. I mean, life happens. But what can you do now with those experiences? How can you use them to better yourself, the people around you, the community, the world, and everything? Because you have a purpose. You have been trusted to go through that for a bigger reason. And your business is to get into the business of searching the answers and doing what is the most important thing with those
Wow.
lessons.
Wow, it's just so powerful. I told you that's why I wanted to have her here to share, those powerful messages. We need it, especially now with what's happening, the challenge
Mhm,
of COVID. We tend to focus on the negativity, and the self-pity is all over the place. It's not time for self-pity. It's time to go inside, like you said, take control of our own power and use
mhm,
that to go to the next level. We can't stay where we are. We are not COVID. We are not, what's happening right now. We are not the lost businesses that we have. We
mhm,
are human being with power, and we have to
mhm.
use this power to go to the next level of our business. That's just so powerful. So, and you've been writing about it, empowering people,
Yes.
to use what we call fear. And you were talking about fell evidence, appearing real,
Mhm,
and how we can use that for, for freedom. So just
mhm.
want to ask you, you wrote this book. You said that you started to write. So what led you to write? And can you tell us a little bit, your vision or mission,
Mm,
behind the writing books and the message that you want to bring to the world?
mm. That's a powerful question, Muriel. I would say for me, the why
Mhm,
did I choose to go on this journey was because um, in the midst of, searching for myself, reconciling with myself, yeah, I realized that it's like what you had said before, you know, everybody has something that is bigger within them. But so often we got caught up with the chaos in the world that we forget. We forget that we are this powerful people. And so for me, this was just a reminder. I looked at myself when I was 14, 15, 16, until let's say 18 or 21.
mhm,
If there was someone who would remind me that my purpose here on earth is greater than everything that I was facing at that time, I always ask myself, how would have I lived my life? How would have I seen my life? How would have I treated, everything that was going on at that point? Because the truth is, each one of us has gone through things in our lives that have stopped us from becoming the person you are created to become.
mhm,
Each one of us has that. And so for me, my why was, even if one person will watch this conversation now and it's going to trigger something within them to stand up and use everything that they have, I always say, you know, you give God your 5 loaf and the 2 bread and let him do the miracle he does with it. That little petty things that you think it is not of value, give it to the Lord. Everything that we go through, it is for a bigger reason. There is something so profound that sometimes we don't even realize.
mhm,
Everything, Mirel, has a purpose. And
mhm,
really, if we just see the bigger picture, we will not be living feeling sorry and feeling self-pity, because
mhm,
your story can be a testimony for another person. And I don't know who needs to hear this today. Whatever you've gone through, get out of it. Everybody has been through something, but don't make that to be an excuse where you fall back and you become a victim of, you victimize yourself of everything that you have endured. There is a lesson to everything, and the
I
power
like.
is with you. Don't let the battles in your head every time. The battles are in our mind, Mirel. In the mind, the war is always raging. But that's not what you have been intended for in this life.
So powerful, and really reminding us that we have the power. We have the power, especially if we have God with us. We have the power. There's a purpose in everything that we have, and we have to use it to help other people. And we talked about it at the beginning. We have to use it to go to the next level. We can't stay where we are and really in self-pity, because it doesn't serve anybody. It doesn't serve us. It doesn't serve the world. So we have to take those challenges and those difficult moments, and mold them to in a way that we can inspire other people, and we can get other people to see their greatness, to see the power that they have, and really unleash this power for a better life for themselves, but also a better life for other people. So that's really powerful. So we're gonna have another break, because I think we need to digest all this, those powerful nuggets for us, and then we come back and talk a little bit about how your personal life helped you in your entrepreneurial journey. And I think it's also very powerful to hear from you on that. But don't go anywhere. We'll be back again in few minutes with our inspiring guest today, Fauza. So we are back. We are back with our inspiring guest, Fauza, and you could see the how she went from really a very humble beginning and difficult beginning to where she is right now, inspiring for all of us, and we learn from her today. But you live in Dubai. You are an entrepreneur. You are you're not, how did you build yourself in entrepreneurship, because it's not always easy to come in a country where you are a foreigner and build something that can actually make a difference in the country, and I think globally now, because you have your foundation and you do really empowering people globally. So what are the key challenges, and how did you make it, basically?
Well, I like to see my glass half full rather than half empty. I believe, Mirel, where there is a will, there is a way. And no matter where you are on this world, you can impact at your own capacity. I like the quote from Martin Luther King, where he said, not everybody can be famous, but everybody can be great, because greatness is determined by service. You need a heart filled with love, and etc. in that quote. I love that quote. And so, I would say it when you're in a new country, sometimes things are not easy, but that's when you navigate, you network, you see what can you do, what are the gifts what's the need in the community, and how can you be, the answer to that. And so for me here in Dubai, it's, when we moved here, I was actually not doing anything at that 10 years ago. But then as my son was growing, I wanted to do something, because the kids, they grow, and then you are there like, okay, the time has just been going by. So I went back to college, and that's how I met other people, joined women organization here in Dubai, like Dubai Business Women Council. And in the beginning, actually, it started as a blog where I was just with my clothing line, where I would put things together and then share my tips on how you can look cute without spending a lot of time and spending a lot of money. And then when I went back to college as an interior designer, I also started now doing a consultation. So it's I believe that there is a gift. Each one of us has their own gift. I was not born a writer, but I've learned how to write. I was not born an interior designer, but I've learned to make homes look beautiful. I was not born a fashion designer, but I have taught myself, to do these things. And yes, you will have some hurdles on the way, but those hurdles, they're just there as a stepping block for you to fly on the other side. The only thing will be an issue when you get on the crossroads and you get stuck there. And that's why I keep on saying, what can you do with these experiences? Because every experience, right, is an opportunity for us to learn.
Every experience is an opportunity for us to learn. And as I listen to you, is what I think is that it's about the mindset. It's not really about where you are physically. It's really about your mindset. How do you go about it? Do you see opportunities instead of we talked about making excuses? Saying, okay, I'm an immigrant, I can't do anything. So do you try to see what are my gifts and how can I create value in this new environment? So those are the questions that you have to ask yourself. Really look at it more as an opportunity of being there and helping your community and helping people and create values. And then by the time you realize you're part of you're part of the community, you're part of the but you have to come into it in the right mindset. And obviously, like you said, there are challenges. People are going to judge you, or they're going to say all kind of things, but if you don't focus on that, you keep moving, and that's the most important thing. So I mean, obviously there's a sign of leadership here. And what I wanted to ask you, what do you think is a good leader, and how would you define your own leadership in a way? Because you've obviously had you led yourself personally to where you are, and that was it's really great what we see. And now you brought all this leadership into your entrepreneurship. So what do you think are the key that you can share with the audience right now?
I would for me, I would say that everybody is a leader in their own way, whether you're a stay-home mom, whether you are a waitress, whether you're a CEO, whether you are a president of your own. Everybody is a leader. As long as you are in an environment that you are just not alone, you are leading something. And for me, I think you must have a little bit of patience, an ear to listen, but also being able to empower others. Because if you can empower yourself, like for myself, I believe that I have become this far because I have believed in myself, but also trusting. Yeah, you need to trust the people that you are dealing, whether you are outsourcing, whether you are contracting, whether you have a team of employees. You need to trust them that they will deliver. And a good leader also, I think, it's someone who is good in communication. That is also able to be a steering cheerleader. You don't just give instructions. You lead as an example.
Mm-hmm.
not just
Mm-hmm.
delegating and then you let other people do no. It doesn't matter whatever hat you're wearing. Everybody in that organization, everybody in your house is a leader.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And that's what sometimes people don't understand. I still remember the book of Robin Sharma. We all are leader without titles.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to lead by example, like you said, because people really respond to what we put out there,
Absolutely.
and that's what's gonna define our leadership. And sometimes people think, oh no, I mean, this person, because the person has the title, is the leader, I'm just going to wait and sit. No, you have you have a role to play. And
Absolutely.
yeah,
And the
and
values, Muriel, what are your
mhm,
values?
mhm,
Because for me, this is something that there is no there is no figure to put in it. Your
mhm,
values are what sets you apart
mhm,
from
mhm, mhm,
everybody else.
mhm, mhm, mhm. So your values, and that's a powerful statement. Your values are what really set you apart. And I hope people understand that, is that your value system is really key in your
Mhm.
leadership, and that's what's gonna help you to lead people, or to just be on your own. Because if
To
you
be a
if you if
manager.
to be a manager, you're gonna manage something, but people, you won't be able to lead people, because you can't, have traction. You can't have, and I think one thing that I want to add as well is, leader have to have, build leaders as well, because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we forget
Yeah.
that, yes, we have
Yeah.
followers, we have people who believe in, our vision, but we
Yeah.
also have to build them so that they can become,
Absolutely.
leaders themselves as well. So that's really important. But then, with leadership comes success.
Yeah.
And what do you think has been key, to your success? I mean, first of all, what is success for you? And then what do you think has been key to your success?
I, I think success for me, it's not determined by how popular you are, how many followers on Instagram you have, how much is in your bank account. For me, I would define success when I am able to
Mm-hmm,
just inspire one person,
mm-hmm,
just one. For me, that is already a success. In my own
mm-hmm,
capacity, in my own credibility, just one, that is already a success.
mm-hmm,
And for me, my success has had a lot of contribution from it's everything that I have gone through. I didn't want to create a web of the same circle,
mm-hmm,
that has been going on through my generation, through my people, I didn't want that. And I want to be a better person. I want to serve. I want to people say, when you die, what will people remember you for? All
mm-hmm,
those things. But for me, I don't want people to remember me when I'm dead. I want people to, I want to be a voice for someone right
mm-hmm,
now. The people
mm-hmm.
who are still haven't found their own voices, the people who are still going through what I have been through. Just one person to get out of that and saying, thank you for that. That's it. For me, that's success.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I like that, because sometimes we define success by material things, like, you have a big house, you're a
And
millionaire,
that's not
but you know,
that's I think for me that's not how it should be.
mm-hmm,
It- no, it is the people that we impact every day, whether it's my gardener outside, whether it's in the shop, whether you know and these things, there is no value for money. You
mm-hmm,
cannot put it in, in money form. It's
mm-hmm,
priceless. It's priceless.
mm-hmm, 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 mm-hmm. And that's and success is a very personal thing as well, and
Hmm.
sometimes people don't understand that. They just want to copy somebody who's done, I mean, who they think has done well, but
Yeah, but
and
that's the mistake that we do. That's the mistake
exactly.
because everybody has been called to do something differently. It's like what we were saying earlier. Everybody has a gift. Everybody has been gifted differently. And your success is, is what you've been entrusted to thrive, to do, to succeed, to be a voice for other person. And if I want to have your success, I don't think, I don't know. I think it's about time that we stop looking at, at the materialistic things that, like you've said, because these are acquired things. But sometimes, does it even make you happy? Having that big house, having that big car, does it make you happy? Because for me, the people that I have met who they have really done well, I've heard them saying, it's what they have done for other people, not even what's it's on their bank accounts or the cars they drive. Where no, it is when someone comes to them and they are able to, and sometimes it's not. It doesn't even need money, Muriel. It doesn't. And so I think it's very personal. But for me, I think it shouldn't be on where you live, what you drive, how big is it. No, for me, success is when you are able to just touch just one. And it's not about, money things. No, sometimes people, they just want someone to just be there and just listen to them. That's it.
And that's simple. And I think that's one thing that we're learning now with the pandemic, is that you can lose everything. The material can be
Absolutely.
gone from one, in few minutes, and you've lost everything. But what's
Absolutely.
keeping you alive then? When you've lost all of this, you need to find what's keeping you alive and giving you joy, even if you don't have all the material that you have around. And I think we need to. A lot of people right now need to learn it, because we've lost it, and
Absolutely.
because it's all about big money, is all about appearances, and I think that social media have actually amplified all of this. So we need to, now that with the pandemic, where we are forced to stop, need to go inside and ask ourselves, what is real joy, what is success, and and forget about the materialistic side. Yes, it's good to have that, but it's not everything,
Absolutely.
and that's a good, a good statement to put out there. So I mean, just for so we've talked about success, your leadership, and just wanted to ask about the book. So how, when is the book out, and what do we expect from it?
So the book is actually out. I launched during the global forum. You are one of our speakers, Muriel,
Mm-hmm,
and so I launched the book, and I was with everything that is going on, there is so much restrictions at the moment. So the only thing
mm-hmm,
that I haven't fully done, it's book signing. But what I've been
mm-hmm,
doing is people have been buying the book. The book is selling online. You can get it on Amazon, on fauzabeltz.com. Here in Dubai, it's in Kinokuniya bookstore in the Dubai Mall. In almost all the local websites in UAE, the books are there. And what to expect? It's like what we were talking about right now, that many of us, they have forgotten who they are, and that there is a higher power that is bigger than them, that it us, that there is, you can't even comprehend,
mm-hmm,
and they forget this because of the chaos. And now with COVID, people have lost their job. There is just so much chaos that is going on.
mm-hmm.
But even in this, Muriel, even in this, put your hands on your chest. And if your heart is still pumping, you have a second chance.
Wow.
You have a second chance. Oh, I get emotional when I talk about this thing. You have a second chance. Just don't give up.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you are here on such a time to experience this, it's phenomenal. What are you learning from this? So, in this book, I am reminding everybody to tap into their God-given talents, power, that fear has no place.
Mm-hmm.
You know, God said, in this world, you will have troubles, but do not be afraid because I've already overcome the world. That is already a promise.
Mm-hmm.
And I leave every chapter 2 questions for my readers to ponder, to be real, depending with the topic that or the subject in that chapter, that they can really, like now, take a pen and paper and really sit and ponder and be authentic with themselves. There is
Mm-hmm.
no time for pretense. There is no time for fake it until you make it. Stop wasting time. Get real. Because when you're faking it, who is going to be the real you who has been born to do the things that you have been created to do?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let us not waste time.
Mm-hmm.
And you
Mm-hmm.
are alive. Your heart is beating. You can digest your food. If you can be able to do all these things, God has been providing.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't
Mm-hmm.
lose hope.
And these are the simple things that we forget, you know. We wake up in the morning, that's just greatness already.
A
We
blessing,
have to be
absolutely.
a blessing. We have to be grateful for that. Like you said, you
Mhm,
know, our heart is beating. Those are the things that we need to focus on instead of, you know, what is done already. I mean,
mm,
COVID is here. We've lost, I don't know what. I mean,
mhm,
everybody's lost something. It's gone. So
mhm,
let's focus on what we still have and what we can, you know, God is providing to us now, today, and
mhm,
capitalize on that to, you know, to have a better future. So that's really the power of the now. And like you said, get real. It's, you know,
mm,
you have to get real. It's important. So that's powerful. So last break, and then we come back for the last part of the show, and that's the part that I love because, you know, it's I like the question that I ask everybody, and because it's just so inspiring what, you know, people share. But don't go anywhere. We'll be back in few minutes. So we are back. So there's going to be, for my French audience, there's a show coming next month. So get ready, soyez réel avec Mireille. Donc, it's going to be very, very important. People have been asking, what about the French audience? It's coming. So get ready. But for now, we are with Fauza. And Fauza, my question is, you know, what legacy do you want to leave? I know you talked about leaving your legacy now, but what legacy do you want to leave? And, you know, what else do you want to add, you know, you know, how do you want to still impact the
mhm.
world? You know, what impact do you want to have?
That is such a powerful question, Muriel. My legacy, it's very big.
Mm-hmm.
And my prayer every day is that God help me because I want to be able to build school. Because I believe, despite the path that I have
Mm-hmm.
been called to, I am thankful that I had opportunity to go to school.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we can be here on this show today. And so if I can be able to give back in education, I think that's something that nobody will ever take it away to these people, away from these boys and girls.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why the foundation is existing. And my
Mm-hmm.
prayer is I want to be able to 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 give back in education, because knowledge is power. Nobody's going to take it away from you. I would say that is my prayer.
Fantastic. So knowledge is power. And we all experience it now, and we talked about the material, but the material is just, something that comes after knowledge. So right now, the knowledge, what we know, because nobody can take it away from us. It's there. So that's really the power that's the new currency. And if we can, have this power and build it and continue to build it, because education never stops, then nothing can stop us. And that's really the story of all of this. So it has been so inspiring, and I'm actually so sad that we have to really stop now. And just wanted to know again, how can people connect with you if they want to connect with you? And then you talked about the book, but let us know again where we can find the book, especially for our international audience. And anything that you have planned, because you also have your foundation. Is there something that one of us can do? Let us know.
Yes. Yes, thank you, Muriel. On this, we are actually doing something because International Women's Day is coming on the 8th. So together with one of my confidants back in Kenya, we are going to support young mothers. These are teenage moms who we are mentoring, and we are going to do something really nice for them, where they will be getting education on how they can protect themselves from sex, from these men who sometimes they just take these girls for granted, for really less, for nothing really. The stories, when you hear them, it's shocking. So we have planned seminars for them and talks for them, and then we're gonna have them have really beautiful day on the 7th of March. So that's something that is coming up. They're gonna have a nice time, meals and goodies and all that. And then yes, I'm planning a woman to woman conference around May. So yeah, look out for that later. And for the books, if you're in UAE, it's on Amazon UAE. It's in Kinokuniya website. It's on Kinokuniya bookstore. You can get it on FauzaBeltz.com. You can get it on Amazon.com. I mean, Amazon, any Amazon, you can be able to find the book.
So get your copy of the book. You've listened to Fauza today, and you've listened to her story and the inspiration, what she stands for. And she has a big legacy to build schools. And please, as usual, come and and connect with her, because I know that I learned so much from her anyway. She doesn't know it, but I learned a lot from her, and it's really powerful what she stands for. So please, get in contact if you can. For those who are gonna get the replay, watch the replay, please let us know if you want to connect with Fauza. And if you want to be involved in any of the activities, there's the activity in Kenya for teenage moms, and also all the forums that she has. So the Women Forum Conference coming in May, and some other ones in between that you will need to know from her when you connect with her. So thank you so much again. Any last message that you want to leave the audience with, Fauza?
Yes, I love this part. Thank you for that question. I want to remind each one of us to use this time to work on ourselves. Use this time to work on you, okay? Because COVID is gonna pass. And what will you be doing when the chaos has stopped? What areas of your life are still held captivity? I want to remind you to stop procrastinating and start using your God-given talents and gifts. Look around. What are the needs in your community? What are the needs in your society? How can you be of service? Okay? Don't wait until COVID is gone. We don't know how long it's going to be here, but that's not a stumbling block. Use it
Mhm.
as a stepping stone. Use your creativity. Don't wait until when you are ready, because who knows, you might never be ready. So use
Mhm.
this time to work on you. Don't waste
Fan-
it.
Fantastic. Don't waste your time. Use this time to work on you while COVID is around. And I think COVID came for that. So, to help you, to work on you, to go to the next level, because that's what we're talking about here on this show is really, you know, understand who you are, understand the greatness, the power that you have, and use it to go to the next level of your greatness. And it's this greatness you're gonna, it's gonna get bigger and bigger unless you put a limit on it. So make sure you take, you this message home, but get into action, because that's the most important thing. Get into action. Get this training that you were, you keep on postponing. Write this book that you always think about. Connect with this mentor that you didn't want to connect with. So do something that will help you to be a better person, the best version of yourself. So thank you so much, Fauza, for this inspiration, and for all this insight that you've shared today. And I've been delighted to host you, and I encourage people to really get to know you better and get to know your philosophy and what you stand for. So thank you so much. God bless you. And for the audience, that's the end of the show. I will be back tomorrow on a special show talking about SDGs, and we will be going to Nigeria, and we're going to discover some amazing women who are doing fantastic work to get, the SDGs implemented on the ground. And I always call them the hidden figures, people who are doing a lot on the ground, but people don't see them. So
Mm.
I'm bringing them here so that you can see them and really understand, what they do and the impact that they create in the communities in Nigeria. So thank you so much, and so have enjoy the rest of your day. And for me, it's gonna be a good night pretty soon. So take
Yeah.
care, and for the audience, I will be back tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Thank you.